I guess we're all here. That's good. So, exploration question for me is. Oh, that's a cool one. Would you rather find your soulmate or your calling? Either or, baby. Either or. And don't try to evil genie me and say that your soulmate is your calling. Don't try to bring that shit up in my house. Um. All right. So while you ruminate on this question, would anybody for a recapspiration, a stackable inspiration that you can just go into the final battle of this campaign with 40 of them, like Lex is going to do, and never fail another roll again? Make the sum up what happened last time.
Wait, they're stackable?
Yeah.
God damn it!
Have you been deleting your extras? How many did you do?
I've always thought it's just stacks to one. That's it. It doesn't go any further.
Oh no, man! Recapspiration, like I had to really start, like whoring it out to make sure we were getting something to do the recap. So yeah, man. David in Mythic, he's got like fucking 30 of these things, man. Like
Fucking
he gonna
hell.
roll up on the redacted, and he's just gonna roll all his dice over and over again. And there's no fortune effect in 5e, so he's gonna be using his sorcerer rerolls, his mommy rerolls, all that shit. It's gonna be crazy. And he's still not going to make the rolls. I should add that. I should add that in.
All right. Well, I guess. Shit.
I know you've been doing it for a while. Why don't we just set it at like 5? We'll start you at 5.
No. It's fine.
Oh,
it's fine.
Okay. Well, it's not like anyone else ever does the recap. So going once, going twice. Darius, give us the recap and start rebuilding your fortune.
I've never been good at investing. All right. So last time on Curse of Strahd, we're outside the gates to the Abbey, trying to seek an audience with the abbot. We were met at the gates by, I don't even know what to really call them. I guess animal folk. I don't remember what the name of the other ones was, but the one that was leading us around the abbey was Zigfrick, I believe. I can't really tell. I think she may be the mother of Cyrus, who we met in the castle. The other animal folk that was serving Strahd. So she kind of gave us the grand tour of the abbey. It's kind of a fucked up place. We heard a voice coming from a well. There was another animal folk that was chained up to a wall. I guess he was being, or attempting to be a cannibal, and he was being punished by being in the cold. So yeah, this place has a very strange way of correcting people. But yeah, so we went inside one building and we came to face with the abbot. The way I want to say this is like if White Jesus was a model. This dude looked way too perfect. More on that a little bit later. We met his, keeps referring to her as a project, but we met this girl named Priscilla who was dressed up in a wedding gown. She was very awkward and very cold to the touch. But the abbot invited us in and wanted us to play as if we were in the castle Ravenloft, in court or whatever. So we went through that whole motions of stuff. We wanted to speak to him about a bunch of other matters that were happening around Barovia, but he seemed to only be interested when the topic of Vasilka came up. And that's when things started to get a little bit more creepy. Like I said, he kept referring to her as his project. He wanted to make her into the perfect bride to bring in front of Strahd. Um, and to do that, he wanted Irenia's face. Like, literally her face. Tear it off, sew it onto this new girl. Um, in the politeness of not punching him in the face, uh, we were given the chance to think it over. But I think we all kind of came to the conclusion that that wasn't going to happen. So we just decided to leave. Um, and he was not happy about that. Uh, from what as has kind of gathered, this dude is like an angel, um, like a real fucking angel. And we kind of started seeing that when his hands were glowing and he was starting to float in the air. It was some real supernatural shit. Um, so the two knights who we recently had brought into our party from Ark of Basalt, they decided to hold him back, while the rest of us just left the abbey and went back to Krezk. Doesn't seem like they were able to hold him back for very long, because probably a minute later the dude shows up in front of us saying that he's not going to try and take Irenia by force. But by some miracle of God, that is Daniel Hardwood, he was able to convince the abbot that maybe, just maybe, his plan is batshit crazy. And that seemed to have given him pause, and he left us alone. So now we're back in Krezk and telling the burgomaster and his wife what the fuck happened up there.
All right, well done. Increase your recapspiration count. If anybody would like a Faxpiration die, a Bardic Inspiration die that lasts the whole session or until you use it, I believe it's a D. What do you guys at? You guys level 9? 10? 9? Okay, yeah, so it's still a D8. It's 10 at 10. Go ahead and roll into chat. Soulmate or calling, which is more important? Okay, got a lot of dice rolling this morning. All right, Daniel. Oh, all right, Daniel in the lead with a 16. Going once, going twice. All right, Daniel. Calling or soulmate?
He'd rather find his calling because
Mm.
he is desperately afraid of being loved.
Aw.
Yeah. But if he could at least find what he was meant to do in this life, that would be okay.
Wow. All right. Good stuff. That's actually what I thought he was going to say. You may ask any NPC that you've met the same question.
Oh man. Oh, let's go with. Let's circle back to a golden oldie, Bram Mardukov.
Bram Mardukov? Oh man. Let's see. Let me grab Bram Mardukov. I have to look him in the eyes to know what's going on behind the windows of his soul. Let me see. All right. Yeah. Okay. So Bram Mardukov, obviously, he wants to find his calling. When you are that handsome, blessed of such incredible lineage and bloodline, finding a partner, that's not even something he has to worry about. That's not even something he has to think about. It's honestly an obstacle that he will have to overcome. Is the many partners who will try to affix themselves to his greatness. What he needs more than anything is to know why he was born so fucking great. It has to be for a greater purpose. So he definitely wants to know what his calling is.
It's to be my backup character.
There's no greater calling than that.
Well, maybe. Depends what you do with them. All right. So with all of that sorted, it's time to play some Curse of Strahd. Oh, let me add the. Oh, you already have your fact scores from last week, which came in super clutch and gave you a 30, I believe, or a 38 persuasion. Yeah.
No, I reapplied them. I'm good.
Yeah, if it was what? If it was like a BioWare game, you would have just convinced them to just kill themselves, right? Like they would have been like, "Ah, guess I'm dead." But then they would have been like, "But now you just skipped to phase 2 of the fight." Because we can't just let you skill check your way through the end of the game. But I always do like when they let you at least do a little bit of damage or something to the boss with some social skills. That's always cool. All right. Also, before we begin, I spoke to my classic group about your encounter. The classic group has faced the abbot, and they were terrified on your behalf about how things went with your abbot encounter. So yeah, good times. All right. Let's see. Get some music going. Okay. All right. Yeah, you should be fine. There we go. I think part of what makes Krezik so nice, in addition to them being good aligned and socialist, and relatively safe from all the evils, is that you get to play Skyrim music, which for a lot of people is like a real comfort sound effect. You know what I'm saying? When you hear that Whiterun music playing, you're like, yeah, I'm just vibing. The world hasn't fallen apart yet. Everything's good. Okay. So it resumes. You have told. Oh yeah. The last thing that Baron said is, "What about my daughter? What did he do to her?" And that's when we stop for the week. So we pick up right from that moment.
So back in our world, we have horror stories, and there's a famous one called, I think Frankenstein. Some dude takes bodies from around, chops them up, and then tries to make a man out of those parts. There's a follow-up story called The Bride of Frankenstein. I don't know why I had to sit through that movie marathon with her. I think that's... The others probably got a better look at her. She was dressed in some veil, but I'm pretty sure that's what the abbot did.
Now, Tiernan, with your insight, you are understanding that Darius, with his low charisma and his inability to answer the question directly, is putting everyone in danger. The Baroness is becoming increasingly more upset, and it seems almost as if she is physically getting larger as she's breathing heavily. Her eyes are kind of shifting to a slightly more golden color, and Zulika, towards the back of your group, is shifting in kind. The dog lets out a nervous whine and kind of pulls at Darius. Does anybody want to bail Darius out of this? No? Just gonna... Okay. All right.
Same charisma.
I mean, I got double theirs, but it's still not good.
Okay. Unfortunately, Anna, your insight is so low that you're probably just lost in thought about what to do next. And did Strahd get your message? He left you on red? Like, there's a lot happening.
Do I? Does my
Tiernan
instinct pick up on it?
will butt in a little bit, and he'll
Oh yeah,
say,
your insight's pretty good too, Shane. Yeah. I would say that it's becoming obvious that things are going in a very bad direction here.
Shane will whisper as he nudges Anna, "Step in and fix this."
Shane, you didn't see what he did at the dinner.
That's why he's not talking, because I don't know what happened.
Okay.
Darius, stop talking.
The burgomaster grabs his wife firmly, but not aggressively, and he kind of whispers to her, "Be calm. It will make sense, I think, but you will not like what you are going to hear." All right. So Darius, you were kind of, asked to stop, and the burgomaster says, "Are you saying that he took the corpse of our daughter and he chopped it up to create something else? A monster?"
Yeah.
It's less chopped up and more extracted from.
Look, when we touched her, when we're greeting her, she was as cold as a damn corpse. I'm not the smartest person, but I'm pretty sure 1 + 1 = 2.
Baroness Anna Kreskova says, "Wait, she was alive? She was moving around?"
This new girl was moving around.
New girl? He brought our daughter back to life?
She ain't your daughter.
But it is her body?
He's taking parts of others and putting them together to make something new.
You've had multiple
Burgomaster
bodies.
Dimitri, his form starts to kind of like bulge in places, and you could tell that he's trying really hard to control the beast, as it were, the lycanthropy.
You've had multiple bodies stolen throughout the past days. Even their graveyard up in the Abbey's been disturbed. We saw it with our own eyes.
Burgomaster, he turns to you, and his eyes are alight with like an inner fury, and he says, then he must be."
He's not human.
"I do not care. He is committing crimes against the dead. He is desecrating graves. He is taking from us what was precious and making it clean." And he just punches this fucking shelf, just shatters it. And he's just breathing heavy, trying to like keep his shit together. Seeing her husband losing his cool, Baroness Anna seems to kind of pull everything back in and button it back down, and she says, "Go on, tell us everything." "She is in a wedding dress, you said?"
Yes, Anna, let's say, as detailed as she can remember,
Okay.
all the situations with how we mimicked dinner,
Mm-hmm.
and the abbot seemed very disinterested in a lot of topics until we discussed his quote project, and then he went into great detail as to how he would like to take this one's face to complete her as and Anna's eyes twitch, as a bride for the Dark Lord.
Oh my god. So Dimitri fucking loses it. He's like frothing at the mouth as his canines are extended, and he just kind of chokes out, "He would turn the corpse of my daughter into a whore for the Dark Lord?"
Not exactly. He believes the Dark Lord is very lonely and needs a partner to solve that.
Oh yeah,
And
the Baroness just looks like the fuck. I mean, like what kind of plan is that? What right? Like her eyes are just
I
like wide. Yeah.
I agree. It's very far-fetched. Um, it was so far-fetched that he gave us an hour to make the decision on whether or not to deliver the face of Irenia to him. And that was not a decision that we were willing to make at this time.
Or
So we
ever.
tried to leave, and he chased us. Several of our companions tried to stop him, and they are no longer with us.
Burgomaster looks over and says, "Your Arg and Vostholt, your paladins, they stopped to face him. They were not successful."
No. And as we descended the mountain, the abbot came after us and was flying.
They look at each other like, the fuck?
Until brave Daniel here managed to convince him, I don't know if permanently, but temporarily at least, that his idea may not be the best one for now. And we returned here to try to plan.
Baroness Anna and Burgomaster Dimitri, they kind of look at each other. It's like they're trying to steady themselves with each other's gaze. And the Baroness looks back at you and says, "You're fine then. Such will be taken care of by me. Do you truly fear this creature too much to face him?"
He has power that's beyond that of Barovia, that I've felt. That's all I know how to describe it as.
See. Then vengeance is not something that we could ever hope for.
At this time. Maybe later.
Is there no way to put an end to his vile and gruesome ways?
Perhaps.
Dimitri says, "What if I rouse all of Kresik and we march up that mountain? Surely he cannot stop all of us." As he says that, you guys remember looking back, like the people in the Bible fleeing the town that Old Testament God was like, "I just don't like this one." And you just remember seeing fucking space lasers being fired down from the fucking heavens. And you just are like, But however you want to advise these people, it's your business.
I think at this time, he is a power that is beyond any of us. And she'll kind of look at Esmeralda like, am I wrong?
I mean, Esmeralda kind of gives you a half and half with her hand, and she says, "Now that we know more about his nature, there are ways that he could be dealt with. If we could trap him inside a magic circle, for one, that might give us a means by which to at least imprison him. I know the ritual, but it takes time to set up. It would have to be a clever ambush to use it successfully. There is also the tower. Divine being or not, that tower does not allow any magic. But
We have it.
kind of shrugs like, I don't know how to get him out, how to proceed.
We have a delicious lure right here. How much time do you need?
She says, it will take me about 10 minutes, maybe more, to describe the circle. It would only contain him for an hour. And even then, there's no guarantee that it would work. It is a gambit.
What do you guys think?
Hell no, OOC.
I don't know, Anna. You decided to call the Dark Lord. Make this his problem. And he just stares at you.
You think he would not be able to deal with it?
Oh no, he probably could. You just decided to get him involved.
The burgomaster says, I need to go. But know this. I want to see whatever that being is destroyed. And if you require my help to do so, you will have it.
Dimitri, it may take time, but we will face this being eventually, whatever it is, and we will see to your daughter, I guess, being put back to rest.
The couple nods and they leave you in quiet to discuss going out to get some air.
This is their home. We should leave.
Yeah.
No, he's saying this is the party. We should leave.
Oh.
And then he just looks at Anna. We should probably talk.
We also shouldn't bicker like children in front of others.
All right. Do you guys stay in the house for a few minutes, or do you head out?
Shane's going to address everyone else after Darius leaves.
Oh, is Darius leaving, or is he just?
Looked like he stepped out.
All right.
I'll
so Darius...
stand at the doorway if it doesn't seem like anyone else is going, but...
All right, yeah, you don't hear anyone following you right away. Irenia is taking some steadying breaths, and she says, I just don't know if it's worth it. If he is distracted with this project, then he is not a danger to anyone. As disrespectful as it is to take the dead, it's far better than him taking the living. There was something there, behind those eyes, something terrible. Something I don't think I could ever truly understand. Anna, it filled me with a fear that I had never felt before. The fear of something so powerful it was beyond my understanding.
I have that feeling often myself, Irenia. Shane, did you have something to say?
It can wait.
All right. On that case, Zaluka says, all right, well, where are we going next? And she starts heading for the door. You guys head out?
Yeah, let's go back to wherever
Yeah.
they have us posted up at.
Okay. Oh, it's amazingly enough, the interior looks exactly like this. You guys go back to the sort of longhouse that they have for guests. Cue door sound effect, and then snow crunching footsteps, and then door opening and closing again. Hey, look, we're in a new scene. All right.
What do we do?
We should probably address some things. You're still.
I think that if we immediately tell the abbot, hey, come to this third location, we'll give you the thing you want there, after we spent so much time and effort convincing him not to do that thing, I think he'll be suspicious. So I think that if that's what we want to do, we need to wait and do it later. Make it look like we've tried things and things haven't worked, and then we've come around to his way of thinking.
I admire your patience, Tiernan.
It's not patience necessarily, it's just caution, not wanting to immediately set him off somewhere less under our control.
So by now, you've probably been back in town for about an hour, give or take, yeah? Because you gathered up Shane, you had a conversation, you switched locations, that sort of thing, right? Yeah, okay. So if anybody needed to take like a short rest, you could. Not that that you need to take a short rest. Not that anything's going to happen that you need a short rest for. I just wanted to make you guys know that you could have if you needed to. Anyways. You guys, as you're sort of staring each other down in this longhouse and sitting on crates and chairs and benches and beds, you do hear a fap 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 kind of sound at the window here, which is closed.
Like something's hitting it?
Yeah.
Daniel, would you get the window, please?
Like something small is banging against
Daniel,
it.
would you get the window, please?
What
Okay.
the hell?
All right, when you open the window, you hear a screeing sound, and you see messenger bat.
You'll peas a little.
Messenger bat flies all around your face, and then drops off a letter, and then waits patiently upside down in the windowsill, closing its eyes tight against the cruel gray sunlight. Which is honestly so dim with the snow and the cloud cover that, I mean, it's really just being dramatic right now, if I'm being honest. It seems to be a tightly rolled parchment sealed with red wax and the crest of Castle Ravenloft.
Oh, what
You might
perfect
say,
timing.
Crush, how did it get here so fast? It turns out bats can fly 100 miles per hour.
You bringing science into our D&D game?
Hey, listen, buddy. Listen. In this instance, yes. Actually, I've been watching a lot of the Frank videos, and I feel like all the animals need an update. Did you know real life elephants have 1 mile of tremor sense?
Yeah, no.
It's fucking crazy.
The stat blocks for animals, and presumably in that case also monsters.
Yeah,
are
are
like
terrible. Yeah.
Isn't there like a supplement that retools the beast stat blocks?
It didn't give elephants 1 mile of tremor sense. Yeah. Man, this is God's work. You want to talk about finding your calling? Maybe it's finally upon me. I have to make tabletop RPG animals that pay justice to their real life selves. Anyways, Daniel, you hold the letter. It seems unusually heavy for a piece of paper, but maybe that's just your imagination.
Oh, what
Say to the
perfect
bat,
timing.
don't expect a tip, and he'll turn to the party and he'll break the seal.
Shit. Okay. All right, you crack the seal and unfurl it, and boy had a lot to say to you guys apparently. So I'll go ahead and give you guys the ability to interact with it. Don't worry, accessibility matters. So I do have a transcript there for this man's dangerously sociopathic handwriting. Do you read it aloud to everyone, Daniel? Or do you want to read it out loud, but it's in Strahd's voice, like for effect, whichever you want to do.
No, he'll just read it.
Okay, go for it.
Yeah. The indomitable Walking Dead. Your journeys through the shadows of Barovia has been marked with both valor and vigor. The echoes of your deeds have traversed the mists and whispered to me tales of your courage and tenacity. It is with a blend of curiosity and admiration that I extend to you an invitation to cross the threshold of Castle Ravenloft once again. Let us convene within the ancient walls of my abode, where stories of light and darkness intertwine, and share in the recounting of your many exploits. We shall gather under the watchful gaze of the moon on Monday evening, the 25th, to partake in a repast befitting such distinguished guests. Please be reminded that the eyes of Ravenloft see far and wide. There is little that escapes my notice within its domain. Your journey thus far, though impressive, is but a single thread in the tapestry of fate that envelops this land. Do make haste, for the night awaits, and for you, time is a precious commodity. Our meeting shall not only be a chance for respite, but a moment to ponder the paths that lie ahead. Know that the doors of Castle Ravenloft open to you, not just as an invitation, but as a harbinger of the fate that awaits us all. With anticipation and foreboding, Babe von Zarovich.
Oh, fuck this guy.
They may open when we enter, but will they open when we try to leave?
And then I'll toss it onto the table.
Okay, polished bat messenger, parentheses 1, has one eye open. It's only pretending to sleep.
Well, we must go, obviously.
Obviously.
Zaluka says, "This is perfect. We will have access to the castle dungeons." And Daniel, she looks at Daniel, and her face smiles. And Daniel, no one, except maybe Jenny Greenteeth, has ever smiled at you with such faith and such admiration than Zaluka is smiling at you right now. Daniel will convince him to release Emil. And she puffs out her respectable chest a bit and stands even taller and says, "I have learned from Daniel that sometimes violence is not the only way to solve a problem. Sometimes cowardly words delivered well can also lead to victory."
Zaluka, Daniel is not cowardly.
Of
He is
course not.
very brave. He's possibly the bravest one here.
She nods in agreement. It seems that she more thinks that avoiding combat is cowardly. Not that Daniel is cowardly, but more that just like the route. You know what I'm saying? Like obviously it took some courage to do it, but yeah. So she looks at you and she nods and she says, "He is, and without him, many of us would be dead on that mountainside. I have no doubt. That is why I believe he can do this thing. And when you free Emil, he and I will return to the wolves of the north. and we will be sworn to your cause, whatever it is.
Very well. What do the rest of you think?
Shane?
I don't want to go, but I agree we have to.
I don't think we're in a position to say no.
Agreed.
Anna stares down Darius with like an "I told you so" kind of look.
It's like the winery all over again.
Darius,
Don't say that because I'm injured again.
Yeah, you hear a whimper from Dog, and they kind of do that thing that medium to large size dogs do, where he just leans against you, just kind of leans against you, like you got this, bro.
He'll just give it scratches, but he returns the gaze to Anna. So you've still been in communication with them. For how long?
No, actually, I know he watches us because of what Esmeralda told us.
Oh, of course he still watches us, but...
So I take a chance and was hoping that he was listening. Turns out maybe he was.
Izzy mumbles, or it's one hell of a coincidence. I think the bat's waiting for something.
Daniel will turn to the bat and just be like, "Could you give us a moment, please?" And he will.
Yeah, the bat closes the one eye that was peeking, and it rotates so that it's not looking at you guys. It respects the hero huddle.
Yeah, Daniel will go to the table and put his rest against it and be like, 2 days. First
Can
of
we
all,
get there?
Just like the winery. We're across Barovia. So what, we have to go back to Valakai, ask for Lady Walkner to get us a Uber over there?
I don't think Haradim's gonna come fetch us this time. I mean, I didn't see what happened last time, but he'll look at Shane. We heard what happened.
And Shane looks fucked up too, by the way, still.
If you don't use roads the whole time, like, so if you're willing to cut through the woods every now and then, it is a total of 68 miles to Castle Ravenloft.
And we're expected to be there in about 2.5 days.
Just mutters like, "God damn, that's an hour's drive anywhere else." All right, so he looks at everyone. It's like, if we do this, we know what we're in for this time. Honored guests or what? We're fucked from the get-go. So we need to go in knowing we're not safe. That there's nothing separating us between a fight other than the Dark Lord's whims. Just, I don't know.
Last time we went there, we lost 3 people.
Yeah.
That is 27 hours of travel that he wants you to do.
Anna can do it. She's worried about you guys, though.
I mean, it's 27 hours in like 2.5 days, so it's doable.
Yeah.
That would be the only thing we get to do.
Yeah, you'll be
we
pushing
have to leave,
you'll be
like,
pushing
now.
every day. By now, you guys probably understand that he is abusing a position of power to try and force you to arrive exhausted. Obviously.
And OOC, I can't do that because I can't heal from exhaustion.
I mean, you could try to do it.
No, I mean, I literally, like, I have a wound that won't even let me roll. I just, layers of exhaustion just
Yeah,
don't heal
but
for
you
me.
could get 10 layers, up to 10 exhaustion, bro. I mean,
Mhm.
Are we able to throw Shane on one of the back of the carts?
That is a good point. Could Shane travel on the back of a cart? Yes, I suppose. I think travel still has a certain amount of like weariness that it causes, but if he's not doing any walking, it should be okay. Should be okay.
It's the best it's going to be for now.
Yeah.
All right then.
Shane,
the-
you're hardy. I know you can do this.
The checks past the 8 hours of travel are kind of meant to just represent like that you're just pushing yourself like really, really hard. Like the danger, the anticipation of being attacked, random encounters, like all that kind of stuff. But you guys do have fast travel.
Daniel will look to Zaluka and just say, we can try, we can ask, but he's gonna want something. Are you ready for what that could be? Because it's not, it's not gonna be nice.
What do you think he would want?
I don't know.
This girl, Arinia?
Maybe.
What would he want from us if he is strong enough to take whatever he needs?
I think maybe it's. I think it's the things he wants us to do. Like, I mean, he can take it. Like, what he can make us do. What?
If it will free a meal and bring him back to me, I will do anything. And you guys know that if there were 9 alignments, Zaluka is chaotic evil. She has no qualms about doing whatever. There's very little moral compass there other than her pack, the people that she has decided that are in her care. That is the only bond that this woman, this creature has. Beyond that, there is no moral compass. There's no guiding light. There's none of that. Hell of a fated companion.
Mm-hmm.
She's awesome. And it gets packing.
All right, I will get the travel rules out, and I will chart a course for you guys. Do you want to go to your map table for a sec? Here, I'll send you over there.
I guess the question is, who's not going to be at the castle that we can deal with, or not deal with? It's his inner circle.
Okay, so you guys are currently in Krezk. You're making your way all the way Castle Ravenloft. All right, so mostly staying on the roads, but since you're not all on the roads, that will increase the DC of your checks to 14. The roads would just add, I think, too many hours of travel, because you got this windy shit right here that if you're willing to just cut through here and here, it saves like a ton of time. Also, cutting through here, you skip Westgate, which is a guaranteed encounter. So the proposed route from your NPCs, specifically from Zaluka, who, you know, lives here and roams the lands relatively freely, is that you've established that cutting through Jenny's Woods and going around is pretty much the same distance. But you get here, you skip Valakai, and you just cut across, skip the gate, and just that. So that route that I just drew here, I could try to make a different color.
Where would we have to camp the first night, ideally?
Remember, camping with fast travel is just covered by an additional check.
Okay.
Yeah. Let's see. All right, so ZC14, we roll to see what the weather is, but we'll roll after the fact. And then let's see. diminishing returns, and all right, every 8 hours, every campsite, every crossroad, every settlement, every landmark. All right. Calculator. Okay, so we said it was 27 hours. So that ends up. All right, rounding up, so that's 4 checks right there, and then that's going to represent 2 overnights. Okay, so that'd be 6 checks, and then you would not be able to avoid that landmark. So 7, 8, 9, but you're going to skip Valkai and you're going to skip Westgate. Okay, so it's 9 checks that you'd have to make. So it's the longest trip you've taken so far. Now the question is, that's 9 checks without having to push yourselves. So, pushing yourselves,
Make
which you'd
10.
probably need to do, right? Because you're dividing 27 hours across 2.5 days, right? Or you're going to travel the full 8 today because you haven't traveled at all. So it'd be across 3 days. So you would do 9 hours a day, right? That's at 27 times 3. So yeah, so 9 hours each day. So you would be pushing yourself 1 extra hour each day. So there's the thing for that, for pushing yourselves. Let's see. Each hour of travel per day past 9, you would make a cumulative. You make another check, but the check would have a cumulative +3 penalty. So whatever the DC is, on those 9 checks, you'll have to make 3 more checks, and each of those additional 3 is going to be with a +3 penalty. But you're spreading them out over 3 days, so they don't get higher than +3. All right. So it's 12 checks total. Oof. Okay. Do you have any other business to finish in Krezk before this gets going?
If it's
We need to sell anything.
No, I think we did all that.
Yeah.
If Davian is in town, Darius will just briefly hit him up and say, unfortunately, we got another invite to the damn castle.
Right. He listens to you and says, what will you do?
We have
Obviously have either drawn his ire or his favor.
From the leather, it sounds like we've drawn his curiosity again. So,
Even more foreboding.
so we're about to be leaving. The Abbey is very bad. I would steer clear of that place. The dude's fucked up.
I would ask quickly, how goes your search for the wine stones?
We have 2 of 3.
It's good to hear. Then you know what the third one was. No, there is.
If we survive this trip to the castle, maybe we'll go after the third one. See. And then Darius will leave.
Alrighty. So, let me roll you guys into some initiative to travel purposes. Here we go. Alright, just roll everybody. Alright, Shane Masters. An arduous journey begins. Oh, wait. But you're riding in the cart.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm
I
not
guess.
leading anything.
All right. So we will. Do we treat? Everyone's supposed to participate, but if you participate, then you'd have to worry about getting the exhaustion. I'd almost say that you just count as an auto fail then, because you
Okay.
are essentially, you're essentially slowing down the group, but it prevents you from having to worry about increasing that exhaustion, because they're essentially using resources to carry you in this
Yeah.
case.
Fair
All right,
enough.
all right. So it's a race to either 9 bad or 9 good, or is it just 9 checks and we take the best? Let me reread this real quick.
Yeah, I was gonna say, is it like best of? Well, we're making 12 total, so is it best of 12?
Well, no, you keep. Let me see. All right. Expedition
Because
opportunities
I think failed
resolution.
checks give us failed results. So then,
Yeah, you know what? I don't know why I'm drawing such a blank on this today. So give me just a sec while I check it. I believe you just roll the number of checks and then you take the good or the bad. But let me see. The
yeah.
goal of expedition is to travel. When the expedition begins, we narrate. We take time to describe it. All right. Should open the idea of using skills. Blah blah. All right. Here we go. If they succeed, mark a success towards destination score. If they fail, mark a failure towards destination score. When they once enough successes or failures, it doesn't say and, it says or. Once enough successes or failures have been marked to meet the destination score, the expedition phase ends and the resolution phase begins. So it sounds like you either get 12 successes or 12 failures. And then we add and subtract to find out if you have more bad or more good at the end. Okay, so it's not just 12 checks. Like you have to hit 12 in one category or the other. So, all right. So let's see. We move on to Tiernan. All right, Tiernan, how are you assisting with this mission?
Feel like I'm just gonna auto crit and get us 2 successes. I think that's what I want to do.
Oh, okay, sounds good. So, what skill would you be using for that?
I will keep an eye out for traps or enemies or animals
Oh,
or
okay. So
ruts, and I'm
perception.
percepting.
All right, let's see it. Oh shoot! Yeah, I have to set the DC for you guys. So it's 14 plus the weather during the trip. And according to this, the weather for this trip is +3, so it's a DC 17. So you did not critically succeed, but you did succeed with perception. All right, great. Darius, to you.
I'll just do an athletics check.
Okay.
I will. I keep forgetting. Do we DM inspirations?
Honestly, you know what? I'm thinking about it. I don't want to roll this many fucking checks for travel, so let's just do the 12, and then we'll average what we have, because I don't want to sit here rolling dice all morning. So let's do that. But yeah, Darius, what was the question?
We've switched over that DM inspos flush out after a long rest, right?
We don't have that anymore, so you keep your DM inspirations through a long rest. Yep.
Okay then.
Yeah, that was the end of your survey. The big answer was don't take away our DM inspirations on long rest. So.
Okay, I forgot what the results were. Then I'll spend a recap inspo to make this athletics check at advantage.
That is one shy of being a critical success. But it is a success. Okay. Let's see. Brings us to Anna.
Well, guys, camping and traveling outdoors is not Anna's strong suit.
Mm-mm.
I think after all this time that you've been with her, she still can't put a tent up. So, how can I BS this?
So remember, skills have diminishing return unless they are survival.
Right.
Yep.
And survival's not on the table ever with Anna.
Okay, fair.
So what I'm going to try here is, you know how that there's people when there's traveling going on and like hiking and things like that, there's somebody that
Mhm.
keeps cadence.
Oh yeah, sure. Yeah.
Could she
Performance?
either... Yeah, I'm trying
All
to
right,
figure out how...
yeah. Give me a charisma performance to keep everyone marching. You are doing a forced march for 3 fucking days. Oof. Okay, so that is that would be a critical fail with that nat 1. So I'll put that down as 2 in the fail column. All right, Daniel.
And you'll like to bullshit a medicine check, treating blisters, sprains.
Sure. Yeah. Okay. So intelligence or wisdom medicine.
Yeah, making sure
Right.
Shane is comfortable.
Okay. Yeah, that is a success. All right. And that brings us to 5 hours, but we've got to go 9. So on this day, we go to the next round. Shane is going to be a fail because he's being cared for. Then play continues to Tiernan.
Oh. So, diminishing returns, right?
Yeah. It just means the DC goes up by 2 each additional time it's used outside of survival.
Each additional time it's used by the same person, or
By the same person, yep. If a character uses the same skill.
Okay, well, my perception is 4 higher than my survival, so I think it's still best if I roll perception, mathematically.
Okay.
Wait, I also have really good crafting. Is crafting anything that could be put to use? Like, maintaining of the wagons, or anything like that?
I mean, that sounds like something that would need to be taken care of during the journey.
Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
I'll go with a crafting check then.
Okay. It'd be we'll say intelligence crafting.
Oh, intelligence crafting.
All right. You did it with a 19.
Well, that's going to be minus some from...
Oh. Okay.
Okay, so it's only a 15.
Oh, then that's not a success. Okay.
Yeah, but how close is it?
Okay.
No, I don't think I can succeed at a cost on projected checks.
Okay. Well, it'd be an out of combat succeeded cost, which are some of the most punishing tables that we own.
Minus 50% max HP. Roll again. Minus 50% max HP. Hell yeah.
Yeah, pretty much. Do you want to succeed at a cost out of combat or no?
No.
Okay. Fair. All right. That brings us to Darius in hour 8. So it's still a DC 17.
And it goes up to 19 if I was to do another athletics. I'm gonna do... Instead, I'm gonna do a stealth check.
Okay. So you're sneaking around to scout ahead for the party, just making it with that stealth check. All right, so you are currently at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 baddies, and then 1, 2, 3, 4 goodies. All right, and we said we're just going to go to 12 to expedite this. All right, that works. All right, Anna, it is now for you. This is a DC 20 because you're representing the 9th hour of travel on this day.
Oh, good gravy.
We have 16 fan spos. If you guys want to start burning them, start burning them.
Do you guys really want me to use them on this?
I'd rather not be exhausted getting to the castle.
Okay, I'll use a fan spell. I'm going to use athletics to help do manual labor and clear the trail in front of us.
Okay. Hmm. No, that does not make it. All right. So technically, since I said we would just go to 12, that would end the challenge, and this is indicative of all 3 days of your journey, plus camping and all that kind of stuff. So, not too bad. If we were calculating this, if we were not using fast travel, that would be 27 plus 6. No, 27 plus 4 is 31, plus 2 nights on the road, so 16. So it would have been 47, right? Checks for random encounters. So I think fast travel probably better. All right, let's see how it goes. You guys get 2 hindrances. All right, I will take the first 2 D hundies that I see in chat for hardships. The first 2 D hundies, 11 and 81. All right. Oh, okay. Your body is beaten and needs time to recover. Each member of the party, including Shane, should lose 1 hit die. That's not too bad. 1 hit die. That's not too bad. Let's see. 81. Oh, okay. Leaching ground. The ground beneath your feet is muddy. It slows movement and forces you to work even harder to travel. So everyone would get 1 exhaustion. So I
That was
guess
the
you would just
ground,
arrive.
but Shane was in the cart, so Shane's
Yeah,
okay.
I
man.
shouldn't, right?
Yeah. You'll be fine in this regard. You'll be fine in this regard. Okay. Let's see. The ground leeches energy, causing slow movement fatigue. Gain 1 exhaustion. Okay, that's not too bad. All right, yeah. So it could have been a lot worse, guys. Could have been a lot worse. All right. I'll take you guys over to Castle Ravenloft, and I'll advance the calendar. So let's see. We'll assume that you decided to leave immediately, so that would be 1 hour preparation, and then you traveled 2, 3, 4, 9 hours. Then you slept 1, 2, 3, 8 hours. Then you traveled 1, 2, 3, 4, and then you slept, and then you. Would you guys make it? Oh yeah, it's Sunday. Okay. So then you traveled. 1, 2, 3, 4. Wow. Okay. Yeah, you guys would arrive at Castle Ravenloft at like 6 a.m. if you ardently. I guess I got to add in the time for like breaking down and setting up camp though. So we'll do 1, 2, 1, 2. So yeah, you guys arrive at Castle Ravenloft at 10 in the morning on Monday. So punctual. Is there something else you wanted to do instead of go to Castle Ravenloft? Look at how much time you have. Or do you just want to get there early and see what happens?
We need to get there so that Shane can recuperate as best as possible before we
Got
have to do this.
it. All right. Let's see.
I think we
Ambiance.
could rest before dinner. 8 hours.
Okay. Yeah, I guess you. Well, technically, you traveled and then you rested again. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see how it goes. I mean, you worked really hard to get here, so that's all good. Okay. Our Jesus was kind in the hindrances, so it all works out. I'm gonna go ahead and clear chat, and I'll take you guys back to the player dashboard. Let's see. And then we'll go and grab some Castle Ravenloft for you. Let's see.
Why that removed?
Castle Ravenloft. Here we go. Man.
No trauma here.
Cool. It should turn on any second now. There we go. All right. As you guys arrive, the bridge is up, but then the bridge go down. And yes, it is raining. It's always raining in Castle Ravenloft. It's almost supernatural, you might say. There does not seem to be anyone to greet you, but the castle almost seemed to sense your approach and lower the drawbridge and raise the portcullis of its own accord. I'm assuming you guys enter?
And it gives Darius another "I told you so" look.
All right. And then let's see. Here we go. You guys head in. Apologies if there's minis here that would traumatize you. Okay, there's not. All right. As you arrive, this guy is here to greet you. So let me go grab his special soundtrack for you guys. Hold on. Someone's doing God's work. I don't know which God, but they're doing God's work when they were like, you know what the world needs? We need sound effects for this one NPC. So Rahadin greets you and says, it is good that you came. I shall take your cart and see you inside. Yes?
Thank you, Rahadin.
I see that your company grows in size. I have not had the pleasure of meeting yourself. I am Rahadin, devoted servant, Castle Ravenloft, and Strahd Isekai. The NPCs that have not met Rahadin look visibly uncomfortable, like they are wincing, blocking out terrible psychic traumas. And then finally, Esmeralda kind of shakes her head and says, "Done." And Zaluka just stares at him and nods. And he says, well, leave your cart here in the overhang, out of the rain. Servants will attend to it. Take whatever you think you need, or it might not be easily accessed again. Alright, do you guys have anything you need to grab out of the cart? As he says that, you hear the clank clank bone rattling sound of bony boys making their way over.
Shane will just re-up his amount of bullets and crossbow bolts.
Okay.
And there's no place like home.
Damn. Alright. Rahadin offers you a hand to get up out of the cart, Shane Masters. He says, Masters, you seem worth the way.
I'm fine. And I don't take his hand.
Ooh, okay. Alright.
I'm not worried about insulting the guy that works for the guy that tortured me.
No, he smirks appreciatively, like he wouldn't have taken this fucking hand. And like, what the fuck? Yeah, so you find strength in you to stubbornly kind of get up on your own accord. The bony boys, they begin, gathering up the stuff and dragging it away. And he leads you inside the castle. Gosh, feels like forever, huh, guys? Feels like forever. Alright, so you guys enter the castle proper. The screams don't stop, because Rahadin is still with you. And he says, my apologies for the absence of hospitality. It is just so early in the day. Most slumber. And Bellevue, stressed about tonight's meal. Sure you could find forgiveness in your hearts. I, after all, am going to try my best to make you feel as welcome as possible.
Of course, Rahadin, running the kingdom is a very important matter.
Well, I do whatever is asked of me, like a loyal vassal should. There is no task I would not do in the service of this great house. I suppose, then, I should ask, do you require access to the guest quarters that you might rest from your long journey?
Indeed, she motions to Shane.
Of course. This way. And as before, they lead you past the hallway to the dining room, and then to a stairwell tower, and then up and up and up and up and up and up. Until you reach the guest quarters. Alright. Let's see. Where? Oh, are they archived right now? Son of a bitch. Hold on. The castle's here. The guest quarters are not. Let's just give me a second. Greenloft guest quarters. Wonderful. Alright, Darius, your dog is freaking out. You know, like when there's fireworks and thunder at the same time? Like, that's where the dog is at, dealing with Rahadin's aura. It is coming undone.
I'll try and do something to calm it down. I don't know how much that's gonna help, but I'll try.
Okay. You gotta handle animals for me?
As per the patch news, that is no longer a thing. I will try.
Oh, right. And nature. My bad.
I'll try nature.
Less skills, more better. I'll die on this hill. Alright. Yeah. You do seem to calm the dog down a bit, but you can tell that it is shook, and it does not like Rahadin at all, which is a real indication of his character, in my opinion.
Don't worry, dog. I'm in the same boat.
In case you had any doubts. Alright. Grab your whole posse. Still relatively robust in size, so that's good. And take you over here. Alright. Rahadin says, you're familiar enough with the accommodation. I shall rouse the maids that they might tend to your every need. I suppose, and he looks right at Anna when he says this, you need no reminders that wandering the castle is done at your own peril. It can be a very dangerous place.
Thank you for the reminder, Rahadin. She gives him like a brief little nod and then walks away from it.
Alright. So he walks over with a quickness, and he, kind of knocks on the door, and he says, ladies, you have company. And you guys begin to hear the sickening sort of crackling sound of the porcelain maids animated. And he says, I guess I'll see you at dinner. And he heads downstairs. Alright, and as he leaves, so too do the screams. The door opens, and you see 2 porcelain maids shamble out.
And it starts directing traffic, tells them to
Okay.
take care of Shane, and grab the others' things and put them in rooms.
Okay. Alright. So
Should
we
I have a
can
token
mostly...
here?
Should we what?
Should I have a token here?
Yeah. Do you not see your token?
No.
You may need to reload.
Oh, okay. I just. But
Can you see anything?
No.
Alright. Yeah, you might need to reload.
Okay.
Or I could drag out a fresh mini.
No,
see
I'm
if that
gonna
helps.
reload, see if that fixes it,
Okay.
and then we can drag out a fresh one if it doesn't.
Alright. Alright, so Zaluka, I'll just give you a real fresh, the dog is nervous. It stays very close to Darius the whole time. Izzy seems so depressed since the encounter with the abbot. She is a shadow of who she used to be. There's no jokes, there's no pop fiction, there's no teasing Shane, there's no trying to keep morale up. She is just a misery. Esmeralda looks around and says, "This is much nicer than I expected. The rest of the castle is in such disrepair. I wonder..." And she just seems really thoughtful, and she's just checking everything out. Alright, Irenia is quiet, contemplative, and seems very nervous about what's going on. And Zaluka looks uncomfortable, but also kind of like, holy shit, because she really hasn't seen, as a trueborn, as a true-blooded lycanthrope, she's never really seen this level of opulent civilization. In fact, she sees the piano and she's not really sure what to make of it. Tentatively, she reaches out to touch it. When it makes a noise, she jumps like 2 feet in the air. Alright, what do you guys do?
Let's give everyone an hour to get settled, and then we'll meet here to discuss what we're going to do next.
Okay. So you guys kind of split up to try and get some rest and then meet up. So should I just advance the clock a bit?
Yes.
Alright. Alright, so it would be 6 p.m. by the time you guys got 8 hours of rest. I would say that you guys got the benefits of a long rest from that. However, dinner would be at 7, so you would have very little time. You'd have, basically 40 minutes upon waking to prepare a battle plan. During that time, once the sun had set, you would be visited, of course, by members of the staff, particularly Helga Ruvak. And essentially, Helga would just sort of check in on you guys, see if there's anything you needed, Winky Face, and offer... well, I don't think she would offer to bring you food because she'd want to make sure that you had a good appetite for the meal. So she would really just check in to see if you needed anything. So she would be like, yeah. Do you need anything at all before your dinner party?
Helga, I'm afraid I lost my previous dress. Would you be able to find something for me to wear?
Oh, on such short notice, probably. Come here. And she runs her hands up and down your body. And she's like, yes, I think I have something. The rest of you, ladies?
Hannah looks at them and, say yes.
Irenia says, I'll let my natural beauty tell my story. Esmeralda says, I am a hunter of monsters. I will present myself as such. Zaluka pokes her head out and says, wear a dress like fancy princess? And Helga smiles and says, yes. And then Zaluka puts her arms out in a T-pose, and Helga does the fit check and says, it will be tight, but I think I have something. And then she looks over and says, Miss Alcaron, anything for you? And Izzy just looks up despondently and says, sure. Might as well look pretty. Alright. Do any of the gentlemen stop Helga to ask for like clothes for dinner? Or are you guys good just presenting yourselves as is?
I think
Daniel will probably take a bath.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
If you have bathed, please mark yourself with the teal or the cyan dot, so we know that you are clean. All right. With alacrity, Helga leaves, which is to say she can dash as a bonus action.
Don't know why that's necessary.
Well, I mean, you're trying to get information, right, about vampires and stuff. Yeah. Okay. They have an ability called alacrity that allows to, dash as a bonus action. All right. So then she comes back in about 20 minutes, giving you scant time to dress. You guys will be rushing down them stairs like a Disney princess at the end of the ball. All right. Tiernan, Irenia refuses to take a bath. She is very stinky from the road. I'm not telling you this like you're her keeper. I'm just letting you know that that's her stance. Like, she is refusing to take a bath.
It's probably a good plan. Can't hurt. I mean, I guess it can.
Let's see. Esmeralda will take a bath. Zaluka bathes herself several times a day, so she's not sure why she would take a bath. That seems weird. Darius, did you wash your dog?
If the dog will allow me.
Sure. There is a very awkward moment, though, when you sort of absentmindedly go to wash the dog's undercarriage. He kind of moves away, like, don't touch my like, he kind of moves away like, you're crossing the line there. Which, I don't know how many dogs Darius has owned in his life and had to bathe, but, like, it doesn't ever seem like a thing that comes up.
He's never had a pet, so this is.
Oh, okay. Okay. Then yeah. Then I mean, then you're like, well, I wouldn't want somebody to do that to me either, buddy. So it's all good. Cool.
Oh well, the water will get you.
Yeah, it just starts teabagging the water, to take care of that. All right. Do you guys have a plan going into this? Irenia does.
Well,
it's to be stinky.
Two of our party members' plans is, Strahd's my best friend, right? Like, or is that? Well,
Darius is over it.
Yeah, I broke out of that a while ago.
Yeah.
So I'm straight up gonna ask him if we would be able to go to the chapel.
Oh,
Either
okay.
If I have to bullshit a reason or just be truthful and say I want to go see it.
Yeah, like, if we can get permission to just go there.
I don't know what to do about Zaluka's mate. I figure we could probably go visit him. I don't know how to finagle him out of here.
So last time we were here, he offered us help from his prisoners, right? Like, can we fish for more and see if we can get him to, like, release Emil into our custody?
Right. Yeah, we could say that Shane and Daniel have been such.
Yeah, like, we should praise them. We should say that Strahd has, like, and the way that he treated them, like, brought out their potential, like just bullshit like that. And then end with, like, man, it would be really helpful if there was someone else that you could release into our custody the same way, like it seems like what we're missing is a really strong like frontliner, you know?
Yeah.
Wow.
Alternatively, you could say,
Wow.
Shane, you're so freaking broken.
I'll just stay here. That's fine.
Oh, look, that's
So
my
I-
role too, okay? Like,
As you guys are having this conversation, Zaluka steps into the doorway, and she's just a very muscular lady. Tried to wear an evening dress.
Nice.
Yeah, so she steps in, and she looks around the room, but you know that she's looking to Daniel to see what Daniel thinks. Not that you're being put in a super awkward situation where two of the most powerful in the thing. And anyways, so Daniel, she does, her eyes kind of linger on Daniel to see what his visual response is.
Exactly
He's
that
trying
pose.
to maintain frame, like he always has to with her. Okay, I guess I gotta ask first, has the clock progressed to before dinner yet?
Well, yeah, it's like 15 minutes till dinner.
Alright, fair enough. Okay, yeah, he'll step forward and be like, Lady Zaluka. Lady Zaluka. And he says, we'll try. We'll try.
She nods, she approaches you. She puts a hand on each of your shoulders. She looks down at you, and she says, I know you will succeed. Hey guys, if the storm is really loud and you can't turn it down, let me know, and I will like change the sounds. Like I
just really
yeah.
got rid of it.
Oh, okay. So
yeah,
all right.
same.
Oh, that's so much better.
Okay.
Daniel brought up a good point. Favors we start asking, he's gonna want something in return. You willing to pay that?
Here's gonna have a. Sorry.
Oh, that was it. We willing to pay it?
That's right. Everything here is gonna have a cost.
Well, I think part of the cost is just being his soap opera, right? Like, we're here because he thinks it's fun. I don't think he really extracted a price more than that for Daniel and Shane. Maybe since we're asking this time it'll be more, but I'm not sure he really needs anything. He can just sort of do and take what he wants.
That is correct, Gibby. I think I'm going to ask him what he wants from us, because he kind of dodged the question the last time we were here and I asked it.
Okay. If you have no other planning and plots to make, Helga Ravak will take you guys to dinner. All right, grab everybody. Maybe I should have been taking you guys to dinner while you were talking. That would have been smart. Oh well. I'll figure this Dungeons & Dragons stuff out anyway.
I believe in you.
Thanks, buddy. Let's see. Okay. We don't need a battle map, right? Let's see. I guess
I mean, it
you
is
probably...
important to know who sits next to who. You know?
Oh, that's true. Okay. All right, just a sec.
I mean, that was in jest, so no worries.
Oh no, it's fine. I agree. I'm trying to figure out what I do with my extra chairs. Let's see. I could just search.
Strahd strikes me like a place card kind of guy.
There we go. Place cards are always fun for making people feel very awkward. So, he's definitely a fan. Let's see. It's a tight fit at the table, right? Because it's like,
Well, I mean, the question is, do his brides attend? Because that was more people last time.
yeah, I actually have to roll to see who's around.
Because if it's just us, I think we may be okay. But
Well, Rahadin said he'd see you at dinner.
right, but then there was like three other brides. Actually, no, it was four. It was all four that were there. And then in the party that we had previously.
True. Party that you had previously. Oh man, what if
Which
there was
was-
another adventuring party here for dinner? That'd be pretty cool. Yeah, Lex got some good ideas.
All shiny, new, and
no.
idealistic.
Alright.
Oh, hey, you guys got invited to the castle too? How swell!
Yeah.
Is this your first adventure? We just left town a couple days ago. This place is very
Not beat
dreary.
down yet. Yeah.
Alright, I got it. So, let's see. We'll paste you guys into this fateful hallway. Where memories were made. Alright. We'll make sure the door is open. It is. And then we'll go ahead and put Strahd down. There we go. And we'll put Rahadin down. There we go. Alright. And then I'll activate this map for you guys. It is a tight fit, but remember, in real life, people don't sit at a table in 5-foot squares. So, yeah. Let's see. Dining hall.
I bring my tape
Activated.
measure with me every time I go.
Yeah. Hey, man.
Specifically for this. Nope.
America defeated the pandemic, okay? You don't have to do that anymore. We defeated it. Like we
Oh, that's
defeat
true.
anything. Yeah. Alright. So let's change it out to dining with vampire music. Let's see. Dining with vampire. Alright. This one says dining with a fatal vampire. Oh. There's different vampires you could dine with, I guess. Okay. You guys hear the soft murmur of Rahadin's aura through the door. And looking through, you see that he is having a quiet discussion with Strahd von Zarovich. Would somebody with a 31 perception like to eavesdrop on the conversation?
Sure, I'm sure that someone that had that much perception would.
Okay. You hear Rahadin say, Master, are you sure? Knowledge is power. Letting them, trusting them. I don't think you should. They are wildly unpredictable. Many have sold their souls to the darkness. And Strahd murmurs, I am no stranger to having sold my soul to darkness. But they have come further than most. They remain independent. They are just unfocused. Blood of heroes runs through their veins. Delicious and promising. I am sure. And then Rahadin says, then I trust you, Sire. And then he's like, turns to the door and like, kind of hears you guys coming down the stairs, but Tiernan with his 31 Peter tingle fucking heard this conversation coming down the stairs. Alright. Okay, so I guess head on in, take a seat.
Darius will just knock on the door.
You guys hear the thump, splat, thump, splat, thump, splat of a man with one duck foot coming down the hallway, and you see Cyrus Bellevue. He nods to all of you, and he says,
well, fancy seeing you here. I have a special spread for you tonight.
Good to see you again, Cyrus.
It's good to be seen. These are dark days, and vision can often be impaired.
As he says that, you see the eyeball necklace on his that he wears. The eyeball swivels about and stares intently at each of you, and then at Tiernan.
I'm trying to decide if we tell him that we saw him and his family or not.
I was definitely
Hello,
going to do that at
Cyrus.
some point.
I look forward to another wonderful meal from you tonight.
Oh, well, Lady Anna, I will try my best to really wow you this time. The master asked me to prepare some food from the earth. It was tricky, but some of the Vistani helped me. You will be surprised.
Charming.
All right, you guys head in.
Does it look like any of these spots are being saved for the brides, or?
It doesn't look there. There's no nameplates or anything, because that would make it too easy for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna leave these 3 spots open and see what happens. I
Okay.
guess.
Well, hell, you know where Anna's going.
I almost sat there just so Anna.
Hold on, Anna. As you approach, Strahd stands
With some alacrity, and moves to pull out your chair for you.
Oh my goodness. She touches her chest softly and smiles at him.
And then
says,
he just gently murmurs, "Milady Anna, it is a pleasure to see you again. Radiant." Then he takes her hand, and if you don't stop him, he kisses it.
She's
And
not
then-
going to stop him.
All right, and then he remains standing behind his chair and beckons the rest of you to come in and says, "Please, you are my guests. Come, enjoy a meal and a conversation. We shall palaver and find a way forward. I hope together." All right. Esmeralda stepped into the room. She sits next to Shane, right there.
Wait, the Shane Masters?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. She turns to you, Shane. She says, "Oh, Shane Masters, how fancy running into you here."
He looks over at her. Come here often.
She says, "This is my first time."
He's gonna say, "I doubt it's your first time."
Oh man. She smiles wryly and says, "I think such banter is inappropriate. It's a royal dinner." Zaluka watches to see where Daniel sits.
All right, Daniel will sit down here towards the corner, and he'll offer her a seat.
Okay. Yeah, she'll sit next to you and Esmeralda. All right. In the hallway, Irenia and Izzy enter together. Tiernan, with your blood of heroes pumping through your veins, having given you supernatural perception that you did not have before coming to Barovia, you see Strahd von Zarovich imperceptibly turn his gaze to Irenia, and she is the only thing in the whole entire world for him right now. As stinky and disheveled as she is. If you didn't know any better, you would say that he sees something there that isn't there. Something that only he can see. She looks around the room and she comes over to towards Tiernan. Tiernan, do you do anything as she approaches?
I will wave Izzy over to the chair next to me.
Oh, Ooh, okay.
Uh,
All right. As you're waving towards
then-
Izzy, Irina turns to Izzy with sort of a confused look, and then motions her to take the chair next to you. And
and then I'll
then
hope that she takes the one at the corner.
she sits
She's
down.
farthest away.
She sits down there. All right. You see on Strahd's face that he knows what you're about, Tiernan Beckett. He knows what you're about.
Yes, but I know that he knows that.
Right. So let's see. Who is here? Let me check. Oh. Oh. Okay. All right. So Asher is here.
Of course.
He bounces in. He's gonna sit down right here. And
Not
then
next to Shane. Not next to Shane. Not next to Shane.
he's too far away from Shane. And let's see. You guys hear the snarling of hellhounds coming from the hall, and so you know that Valenta must be coming. As they enter the hall, Dog looks over at them like, the fuck. The dogs look at, the hellhounds look at Dog, and they kind of cock their heads, sniff the air, and then they do like one of them snorts, like those dismissive snorts, and then they just head over here. It's like they have no interest in Dog at all. Valenta follows them into the room. Once inside, she looks around, sees everybody. She removes her mask. And then she goes to take a seat. Yeah. Next to Tiernan. There we go. Alright. Let's see. Oh, yes. Okay. Then someone you don't know enters. But you get the sense, based on context clues that you have gathered, that this is some sort of elf or half-elf creature. And
Wait, we
then
saw her before,
and then
didn't we?
yeah, and then you kind of are like, wait, she's from, and you recognize Lily from the Cold Shoulders.
Well, I don't know who she is.
Fair enough. She goes and takes a seat right here. All right. Those of you who are inside the Rahadin aura, you're gonna have disadvantage to all of your perception, insight, and any socialization checks. So just be mindful of that. All right. So I think it should update in a second. Why didn't you update? Oh, here we go. I think that might be all of you. Oh my god, it's got a 15-foot aura on this thing. Okay. Yeah, so it's pretty bad. So pretty much just Shane is feeling okay. Everyone else, Shane and Irina, everyone else, that Rahadin aura is distracting.
What does Zulika's aura do for us again?
Advantage to attack rolls.
Oh, well, hopefully that doesn't come up.
Yeah, that's she's really into fighting. I don't know if you.
What about verbal fencing? That's like attacking.
I mean, she's still trying to learn that from her friend Daniel. But yeah, it's only advantage to melee attack rolls against hostile creatures. It's very specific, but still a pretty damn good aura. All right, let's see. As everyone is seated, Strahd looks around, and as Helga is moving to close the doors, he says, "Is this everyone?" And she says, "Well,
he has been delayed, but he is coming soon. I will have him join you as soon as he arrives.
And Strahd furrows his brow, looking frustrated, but says,
I see. All right. I'm sure he knows that I am disappointed. But make sure you remind him.
all right. And so she heads out. Okay. And do we close the doors? Yeah, probably. It'd be spookier. I wish the map had an alternate version that had the doors closed. That'd be pretty cool. Oh well. Become the change you want to see in the world, I guess. Next time. Alright, so the doors close behind you, despite still being on the map, because we're in Theater of the Mind for the most part. And no sooner have the doors closed and everyone has gotten settled than they go opening again, as Cyrus brings in his little cart and begins to pour for everyone drinks of their choosing. There is a Red Dragon Crush wine. There is a cherry brandy. There is a fine vodka, and there is mineral water. Right.
Tiernan asks, "Do you do Coke or Pepsi products here?" But then he said, "I'm just kidding, Cyrus. I'll take the brandy."
Cyrus looks like shocked for a minute when you asked him that question. And he said,
Oh, hey, you've been making a joke with me. Of course.
and it was a very weird response for such an offhanded meta question, which isn't meta because you're a isekai character. But yeah, he pours for everybody. And then Strahd holds up a hand and says, I have my drink from earlier. And he motions to a silver chalice on the table. And then he heads back out. Lily, if you want to know, I don't know if this changes things for you guys. Volenta has vodka. Escher has the brandy. Lily has the mineral water, and Rahadin has the wine.
Telling.
All right. And then as he leaves, he quickly comes back with a tray of breads and cheeses and places those all over the table. And then he says,
Salad course is coming. Enjoy. Do not fill up on bread.
That's how they get you.
all right. So, everyone's there. Does anyone break the silence? Otherwise, Escher will.
I love Escher.
Actually, Daniel will beat Escher to it and ask him if he's got any opium.
You ask Escher if he has any opium?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, let's see.
I mean, he'll kind of whisper it to him. It's like,
Oh.
You got any on you?
Well,
There's that one.
Yeah, I have some on me. Did you want to take some and then I could drink your blood? Is that... I mean, we're kind of a dinner right now. I appreciate your candor and your forwardness, though. It's very impressive. You're a different man, Daniel, than when you left us.
It's been quite a journey.
With no one else talking, no matter how quiet you are, everyone can hear you. Well, maybe not over the screams, the psychic screams of Rahadin's aura.
Yep. OC, Daniel would like to think there was that one night he was just so bored. He was like, Daniel, you want to get wasted? It was just one highlight of this entire stay.
Oh, beautiful. I could see that. I could see Escher demanding to see one or both of you at some point while you were prisoners, because of his attachment to Earth. So, all right. So Strahd says, "Thank you for taking my invitation, Lady Anna. Thank you for trusting me enough
to seek another meeting.
Of course, Strahd. And since Anna, I'm sure, has the lowest wisdom in this room.
Oof. Yeah, when you say Strahd first name basis, Rahadin, he raises an eyebrow, just like this character art. Like this bitch right here. Wow. Wow.
That's very funny because she gives Strahd this look like she's hearing the voices from Rahadin and it's kind of bothering her. Can he do something about it with just like glances back and forth?
Strahd does not seem to notice anything weird from Rahadin. But he looks from you to Rahadin and he says, Lady Anna, you know Rahadin.
I do.
In a way, you remind me very much of him. He is powerful, dedicated, skilled. He is a perfect killing machine. And he never gives up, no matter what. I see in you all of that and more.
If she could blush, she would. She says, we came as soon as you asked. And I have brought some new allies, including the two wonderful guests that you gave us for.
Yes. It seems one is faring far better than the other. As he looks from Daniel to Shane.
We had a brief tussle inside Castle Argynvost Hold.
Oh,
And
a depressing place.
indeed,
Sure.
but Shane was very brave.
Was he? That is good. Mr. Masters, I'm sure your courage would make your father proud.
With that, Shane noticeably doesn't look up, but just doesn't like the mention of his father, and probably noticeably winces a little.
As if sensing this and acting upon it like a cruel predator. Strahd von Zarovich says, after all, it is the place of every son to make his father proud, to live up to those expectations, and become the man that is needed.
Some say, and he doesn't look, this is very kind of meekly said, but some say being a father is a privilege and not a right.
An interesting idea, to be sure. I would not know. I have not had the privilege, as you say.
Do you not have many children? And he, I guess, nods over at Escher.
At his husband? As he looks at Escher, he kind of makes a confused face and he says,
I assume he did them, so...
Yeah, but I mean, he was talking about, okay.
Well, if I make it awkward for him, then so be it.
Yeah, as his eyes flick to Escher and flick to you, he says, I suppose one could argue that those you sire into immortality are in your care. But I believe it is a different sort of relationship than a parent to a child. It is something far deeper, and something that lasts forever. Death cannot take it away. Time cannot erode the bond that is formed. But perhaps in that I could understand. Also, at any point, if you guys want to insight something that he's saying, just roll a insight check. You don't have to like ace attorney, objection. If anything he says
I want a
triggers you,
David style insight check.
Every time you roll, I will hear that in my mind. So yeah. But if you have at any point something he says is sus, if you want to roll it out, you can, and then I'll let you know if you what you kind of gleaned from that.
When Strahd mentions or alludes to the death of the parent and still can't, like erase the bond, Shane like looks up and actually meets his eyes, like quickly, like in shock, and then looks back down.
Now, I believe part of our arrangements was that you would regale me with tales of your heroism. I hear much, but I crave the stories told firsthand. As he says that, salad course is brought in.
Hell yeah! What type of salad is it?
It is a chicken Caesar salad.
I'm legitimately hungry, and so this scene is gonna be awful.
All right. So he sets down these incredible. I mean, this is like 5-star. We made the dressing ourselves with fresh anchovies, like Caesar salad. Like the chicken is it's just juicy, but somehow a little flaky in the best ways. They set everything down. Fresh croutons, obviously. Not store bought because it's fucking D&D. Anyways, they head out after dropping it off and clearing plates and refilling drinks. During this sort of awkwardness, because nobody likes to talk over distracting noises like plates and glasses being filled. Am I right? Nobody likes distracting noises while they're having a conversation.
When Strahd asks for story, Anna, since she's bothered by the aura, will get up from the chair and say, I will explain what we've been doing, and she will begin walking around the room and try to find a spot where she's not going to get hit with the voices and kind of park it there for the meantime.
Okay, sure. To dramatically backlight yourself, you stand over by this candelabra thing. Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah.
Sure. But she will explain everything since she's been back. Except she's not going to tell him. What would she not tell him? A lot of the interpersonal stuff in the party, just the things that we've done outside.
Okay, so you tell him the coolest things that happened and leave out any of the messy parts, the juicier drama parts.
Always. Paint us in the best possible light.
Okay. Give me a performance to see how best of a possible light that is. Okay. It's okay. It's okay. It's not your best story. You are definitely off your game with the Rahadin. There's some hellhounds sniffing at you. They're kind of puffing fire out of their mouths every time they do. You remember dying in this hallway out here, or almost dying, to dragon fire. There's a lot of people. There's a lot of noise. There's a lot of light. But you deliver above average, right? 10 being, an above average book report, essentially, of what has happened.
And as she does so she will kind of leave it with is there anything else anyone else would like to add? And kind of look over at Darius and Daniel.
Helga interrupts and says, I'm sorry for interrupting, but there is an issue in the and she looks at Strahd, and Strahd looks at her, and Strahd looks at Rahadin, and Rahadin sighs, and he says, of course, my lord. And he gets up and he heads out. And she says, oh, thank you, it's not too bad, no one is dead yet. And they head out into the hallway. Does someone with a 31 perception want to eavesdrop as they're walking away?
Absolutely.
Okay. She says, it is the dragon. Apparently, it is very upset about something. And Rahadin says, the dragon.
from the past? She says, yeah, it's apparently rampaging against the giants. And Rahadin says, that's unusual. Something must have happened. And then you can't hear anymore as they wander off. Nothing ominous there.
Not
Anyways.
Nope.
All right.
Darius has not been paying attention to any of this whatsoever. He has just been drinking his glass of mineral water.
Mm-hmm.
He has taken the chicken from the chicken salad out and
Mm-hmm.
feeding it to dog. And he has taken a bone from his pocket and is just absentmindedly munching on it.
Fair. You sitting next to Lily, you feel uncomfortable. You are starting to understand that you dislike radiance and radiant damage, something that Lily is full of, despite being a vampire.
Yeah, I was very wary
Yeah,
of
you're
her
getting
when she
like
decided to sit next to me.
you're getting hives a little bit. You know, you're getting a little puffy, a little bit of hives on the right side of your body. Lily, for her part, says nothing. She just quietly sips. She pokes at her food, but does not eat it. Doesn't even pretend like like some of the undead do.
I was gonna ask, how's my roommate feel about this whole situation?
Your roommate understands that Von Zarovich is a source of tremendous wealth, power, and options. It's in your best interest to have strong allies until you are strong enough to betray them.
All right.
Gotta start my new "And They Were Roommates" fan fiction.
It's a
All right.
horrible comedy sitcom.
In the hallway, you hear, "Oh, there you are. The maester is waiting for you, but I don't think he's going to be too mad." And you hear a voice say, "Good. There's much that needs to be discussed." And before he enters the room, Zaluka looks up like a dog who someone they don't like has come to visit the house, and they already know they're there before the person even knocks on the fucking door. She turns to look, and she sees this dude step into the door frame. So he's about 6 foot. He's got a big, furry kind of boa thing on his leather trench coat. He's got leather brigandine armor. He's got like scars all over his face, particularly on the left side. He's got wolf eyes. He has a cool beard. He kind of looks like he doesn't ever get a chance to take a bath or sleep in a bed. Like he's always on the move. He sort of has the stance, the demeanor, and the look of like a boy Esmeralda. But you do see that there are streaks of gray in his hair, either from premature aging, stress, or ghosts? Question mark. The man is strapped down with weapons. You see a metallic whip, a crossbow, and a sword. Unsure whether it is a longsword or a short sword. It is of undetermined make and model, just sort of strapped down, ready to fight at a moment's notice. There is a presence about him that is intimidating and sort of speaks to an almost animal magnetism or leadership quality. As he enters, Strahd sees him. He does not stand, and he looks to the chair that was recently emptied. And Roderick Ardengriff looks at him, nods, and then heads over to the chair. As he passes the dog, he absentmindedly pets the dog on the head. The dog is just frozen in terror. And then he sits down. He looks at Lily and says, Lily. And she just side-eyes him and stares straight ahead.
Alright. Strahd says, wonderful. It is unfortunate that Rahadin was pulled away, but I will fill him in on what has transpired.
You are all acquainted? It occurs to me that I should have had some introductions. Here we are finishing the salad course, and there may be some who are unknown to each other. Here, I will break the ice, as they say. You may know me, for I am Count Strahd von Zarvich, ruler of this land and owner of this fine castle. And he smiles, like, isn't that funny? I introduced myself, but everybody knows who I am. And then he turns to Anna.
My name is Anna of Barovia. Who is this?
Okay. The man looks at you and he says, I am Roderick Ardentgriff. I am a hunter of monsters. And I am a monster myself, in the service of an even greater monster. And he stares down Strahd as he says that.
Quite an introduction.
Strahd locks eyes with him, and you could tell that these two they got beef, but also at the same time there's sort of this like mutual respect there. Valenta says, "I am Valenta Popovsky. I manage the western territories of Barovia for my husband. Hope everyone's having a good time." She turns to you, Tiernan.
I'm Tiernan Beckett, member of the Walking Dead.
Izzy murmurs, I'm Izzy Alcaron. And that's all she says. Irenia says, I am Irenia Kuliona. Did we really? Okay. And I'm from the village of Barovia, and a member of the Walking Dead. She turns to you, to you, Shane.
Shane Masters. Best shot in the land.
Esmeralda says, I am Esmeralda de Avenir, also a hunter of monsters. As she looks over at Roderick. Zeluka says, I am Zeluka Toronescu, matron of the Wolves of the North, and the wife of Emil, and you, Roderick Ardengriff, the Red Wolf, are filth. And her hands begin to get furry, and nails begin to grow, and they kind of bite into the table as she is trying to contain her fury at seeing this guy.
He will attempt to put a calming hand on Zulika, and he'll cut in and be like, Daniel Harwood, hey.
All right. Asher says, I'm Asher, and I guess that's it. And turns to Darius.
Darius doesn't immediately say anything. He's just looking at Strahd, like, why are we fucking doing this? And then let's ask Darius, King of the Walking Dead.
Lily says, I'm Lily with the cold shoulders. Though we have met before in one way or another. She says, her eyes traveling from Anna to Izzy. And then Strahd claps his hands together loudly and says, wonderful. And as if on cue, Cyrus comes in to collect all the salad accoutrements, refill glasses, leaves, comes back with gourmet Big Macs and homemade French fries. If you've never had a gourmet Big Mac, imagine the Big Mac from the TV commercials if it was real.
not all dressed up for commercial.
Yep. No, I'm saying, like, if it could
Yeah,
taste as
yeah.
good as it looks in the commercial, you know what I'm saying? That's what's brought out with homemade French fries. Lightly seasoned and salted.
We don't need to go to McDonald's. We got home burgers.
All right. So Cyrus looks proud but also nervous as he reveals the meal to everyone.
This looks great, Cyrus. You've outdone yourself.
And then he says,
I thought maybe you somehow knew.
And he produces from the curtained part of the cart bottles of Coca-Cola. Glass bottles.
Had to trade quite a bit to the Vistani for these, but they told me Earthins love these.
And then he bottle opens all of your Cokes, which are warm, unfortunately. And then he heads out. Didn't do all his research.
I'll hand mine over to Daniel if he wants it.
I'll give mine to Irina.
She says, I don't think I need 2 of these. She tries it. She says, yes, I do. I need all of them. Give them to me.
Well, Strahd, since the main course is here, we might as well dive into our own main course.
Yes, Lady Anna, I hope this food is not offensive to you. It is of lower class, but I wanted to show our outsiders some courtesy, give them a taste of home, remind them perhaps of what they are fighting for, or simply give them some solace from the endless darkness that they face.
Your hospitality knows no bounds, does it? And speaking of, I will ask you a question that I asked the last time we were here. And I hope there's more detail with the answer this time. We've traveled this land and have learned many stories of it. And some of you. Why are we here right now? What do you want?
I appreciate this question. I feel now you have walked the land, you have experienced their sorrows. I think now that the blood of heroes that Ergol very aptly detected in your beings has had the chance to ferment, to grow strong through suffering. I think you are ready to know why you are here. This world is a prison. I am both the warden and the most important prisoner. Mistakes were made long ago. There was a desperate night that compounded an already addled mind, heart sick, desperate for something he had never had. The action, the decisions of that night, they changed everything for everyone. We have been pulled into darkness, anchored here in the shadows. There is no escape. My Vistani discovered this place, and
explained the nature of planes, of worlds, of travel to me, such that my schoolings in the arcane were unable to make clear. Fortunately, they are stalwart allies and loyal servants. They ease the burden of this imprisonment. There are others, like me, in cells like these, adrift in a sea of shadows. Every now and then, they drift close enough that we skirmish, scuffle, trade blows and secrets. Such an occurrence has not happened in a while. And for that I am grateful, for I need no distractions from what I am attempting to do. I have lived this nightmare again and again. An endless punishment for my crimes. There is something I want. Something I have always wanted. I traded everything for it, only to have it snatched away. One could live with such a betrayal. One could live with a failure. One could learn to accept the punishments for their foolish crimes, but no, that was not enough of a punishment. For like a foolish fish, the line was cast for me again and again. Over and over the object of my desire was dangled before me. So close. Many times I held it. Many times I tasted it. But never could I keep it. Every time I gave up, they found some way to drag me back in. I could not stop myself. I thought, if I have this, it will break the cycle. If I have this, it will end. If I have this, I will be happy. All of those things are a lie. It is all theater. It is all a game. The prize, my torment, the suffering of the souls bound here with me. It has taken centuries of failure, setbacks, distractions, and defeats, hollow victories, for me to understand that I am cursed. And with me, all that I held dear. What I was in life made a mockery in this shadowy grave. But I have a plan. I have found a way out. There have been those before you who have tried. Some have been more promising than others.
As he says this, he looks over at Lily, who just has a almost emotionless, stony face, just staring forward, and Roderick, who makes sort of a grimace of like, "I hate this asshole," kind of thing. But they were not worthy enough. They were not capable enough. They failed. Again, Lily, emotionless, just stares forward. Tiernan and Shane, you do notice that her lower lip is quivering a bit, and she's kind of biting on it. But that is the only tell that his words are having any effect on her. Roderick almost sort of rolls his lupine eyes like, this shit again. Strahd says, I seek champions who can help me break the curse. And so I have my Vistani serve. The many pathways, the many worlds, for those with the blood of heroes. I have seen so many come and go. It is disheartening. But I have not lost hope. For with you, yes, I feel it in my heart again. The quiet murmur of hope. You have been tested. You have been pitted against trials. Have endured. You have been forced to choose. You have been forced to lose. Yet you persist. You continue. Some have given their hearts over to darkness. He looks Darius, to Daniel, and to Anna. And some have been cozened in by foolish spirits. And he looks at Tiernan. But that has not diminished your resolve or your prudence. That is what I need in champions. Those who would not be so blinded by foolish concepts like morality and obligation to archaic ideals. I need flexible, open-minded individuals who can understand that there could be a greater good for everyone. So, when you ask me what I want from you, it is simple. I want you to help me free myself of my own dark passenger. Release the land from its bondage. And end my curse.
Hey, Daniel, is Psychic Whispers up? I'll take that as a no for now.
Daniel?
Sorry, it's muted. Yeah, it's not up because it never came up in conversation.
No worries.
Okay.
Well, Anna would answer that and say, if you wish for change to occur, change can be very scary, and change can be very painful. Are you willing to endure it without retaliation upon us?
He looks at you, and he says, if we are to work together, I would expect a great deal of transparency. You must understand, you cannot win against me. You cannot use the power of fanciful nature sprites and downtrodden citizens, or even the dwindling hope of long-dead paladins. Stop me. Others have tried and failed. If you truly care about returning home or saving this land, you would be wise to join with me by choice. And when he says by choice, it definitely hangs in the air. And Shane and Tiernan, you see Lily wince. And her eyes kind of glisten a little bit as she's like fighting back tears. And you see Roderick just sort of like, well, everyone would see this. Roderick just like breaks the silver goblet he's drinking out of, just bends it out of shape.
You've been beaten before.
I have.
You just seem to come back.
That is the problem then. Why would you sacrifice? Why would you bleed and die? Why would you maim yourself? Knowing the outcome is futile. I offer a solution. Why walk the paths that have already been tread when we could blaze a new trail? When we could try what has been untested?
This is a significant choice to make.
Is this a theoretical, or do you have something in mind?
I have it all mapped out. It would put me in a very vulnerable place. You must understand how much trust I have, that I would reach out to you for aid while you still possess free will of your own.
Is that what makes us able to do this instead of your employees?
He nods. The curse must be broken by outsiders who choose to do so. I can do nothing, and my former champions were unsuccessful. I ask a great deal of you, I know. Perhaps it is too great of an ask.
It's not an answer that we can give immediately.
Of course. Why do we not enjoy dessert and conversation? You're welcome to stay the night, Castle Ravenloft. Think it over. I understand that some of us may not have gotten off on the right foot, he says, emphasizing foot and looking at Daniel.
Oof.
And that some of you may have suffered in my care, he says, looking at Shane. And then Shane, in a very haunting moment, he says, I only did it to make you stronger. I only did it because I saw your potential.
You just see or hear a loud clatter of a fork dropped, and Shane sort of doesn't stand up, but just pushes himself a little back from the table, but looks at Anna and doesn't get up.
You must understand, to do what must be done requires a mind and body tempered against the madness, against loss, against temptation. Everything that you've done and suffered was to make you strong, to forge you into something capable of saving this land. And if that is truly what you want, he says, staring right at Tiernan, then I don't need to explain my methods any further.
You
You hear the-
emphasize. Go ahead.
You hear the clatter of the dessert trolley coming. Go for it.
To emphasize his point, Anna will get up and start walking around the room again. And she says, Darius and Tiernan, do you remember what I said to you the last time we were here? Right before the last dinner we had? If you don't, I had said that you were weak. And as time has gone on, I have sacrificed almost everything I have for all of you to make sure that you're not weak. And you have not disappointed me. I think you are all strong and brave and compassionate, that we can help this man. And she'll touch Strahd on the shoulder. And we can do something that no one else has been able to do. I believe in all of you. And her gaze ends with Shane.
He does not return the gaze at that point.
Okay. Cyrus Bellevue places your ice cream sundaes down in front of you. And he kind of murmurs. He says,
It was a real bitch to keep the ice cream from melting all the way from the kitchens to here. Fascinating food, though. I could not believe it was like alchemy when it formed.
and then he says, I will bring coffee.
You are a master of your craft, Mr. Bellevue.
You are too kind to me.
And he trundles out, stump flump, with his trolley. Eventually bringing back coffee and tea. So Valenta says, I heard you were in my neck of the woods. Kresik. How did you like it?
beautiful country.
Were you able to visit the abbey? It is a historical landmark of some renown.
We saw that, yes.
What would you make of it, Mr. Beckett?
Well, like many places, it seems upkeep has gone by the wayside.
He lets out a peal of laughter at your jest. I see. Were you able to seek counsel with the abbot? He is a remarkable being, is he not?
I don't know if I would call it seeking counsel. We met him, though. And he is
Yeah, Strahd looks very
certainly
interested in
remarkable.
this. Okay. He looks over at you, Tiernan, and he says, if you did not seek counsel from the fair abbot, what business would you have had with him?
We were asked to stop by the Burgermeister.
Ah, which one is it now? It has been many years. Dmitri is a big boy. Now,
He is a good man and a good father.
though I believe he's a father no longer. And he kind of looks over at Zaluka, and Zaluka just kind of stares back at Strahd, but eventually looks away.
He still
I
has.
thought you said death doesn't end that relationship.
He looks to you and smiles, and he says, "How true. Whether the children live or die, they will live forever in the memories of the father. Much as the child who loses their parents can never escape from the shadow the parents once cast. I know this too well, Mr. Masters. My own parents are buried here in the castle. My life was spent in service to them, to this family, to their name. This castle is named for my mother. I am no stranger, Saint Masters, to the chains that bind you."
He's still a father. There's one kid out there, Mr. Scar, and he points over towards Roderick, who knows something.
Roderick looks over at you guys, enjoying his ice cream sundae, and says, "Well, yeah. The boy is still alive and in the custody of the Wolves of the North, though they're having some leadership issues." And Strahd says, "These matters need to be sorted out. I thought they already were." And he looks over at Zaluka when he says that. Zaluka looks at you, Daniel, like, this is the time, bro.
Oh shit. And I was
You could feel your thigh muscle being destroyed as she squeezes it under the table.
Worth it. He slurps his sundae. It's like, yes. Zaluka's husband, Emil, has been your guest for a while. If you would like us to work with you, maybe a show of good faith would not be a bad idea. Like you with myself and Shane, perhaps you could find it in your. You kind of choose on this one, in your mercy to release him to us, so that we can resolve the issues with the werewolves to the north.
I see. Are you not aware of the situation in its fullness? The wolves of the north have not been vassals of Castle Ravenloft for many centuries. I find them to be unpredictable and unreliable. Roderick here, well, he has shown me differently. With the right leadership, they can be organized. They can be put to a purpose. Before I could move forward with these plans, I was surprised to find a wolf at my doorstep. Emil. He had come to me asking advice. You must imagine my surprise. The wolves have always been independent. They have always taken their own counsel or the guidance of Mother Night. Yet here he was, the strongest of their number, placating for guidance. He told me of another wolf within the pack, Kirill, whose heart was as black as midnight. No stars, no moon, only darkness. Kirill had begun acting independently outside of Emil's mandates, you might say, kidnapping children from other worlds. Kirill is of Vistani descent and knows the paths of the mist. He stole these children to bolster the numbers of the pack, to grow himself an army. Stealing children was not his only crime. He then pitted the human children against each other in blood sport. Only the children willing to kill the others were spared and gifted lycanthropy. Emil realized he was not strong enough to stop Kirill. In desperation, he came to me, hoping to appeal as the liege lord of the land, that I might intervene on his behalf. And so, I summoned Kirill here to the castle. He and Emil were pitted against each other, just as the children were pitted against each other. Emil lost the battle. But I stayed Kirill's hand and have imprisoned him ever since. It seemed a prudent way to make sure any who supported Emil despite his failure would understand that they still had much to lose. You see, if the werewolves had been loyal vassals, if they had served me well, I would have gladly intervened.
I am disgusted by their actions. To steal children? To force them into such a terrible act? To burden them with such a dreadful curse? It is inhuman. But Emil was the leader. All that happened there happened under his leadership. If he is not strong enough to defend his ideals, is he truly fit to rule? I'm sure this is something he thinks about down in the dark.
Daniel will respond, "This isn't wrong, but I think the reason Emil lost is because he was incomplete." And he looks at Zaluka. His wife is half his strength. Together, I think they could rule. No, I know they could.
Mr. Harwood, you appeal to me as a romantic. I see.
And you'll blush a little bit.
Truly it shows courage, Lady Taranescu, that you would travel with these dangerous outsiders, that you would make enemies of so many, put a target on your back, for the off-hand chance saving your mate. I can respect that. He turns to Roderick and gives a slight nod, and Roderick says, Emil can be released, but only if the wolves of the north swear fealty to Castle Ravenloft. Their strength will be needed in the days and weeks to come. Kirill has made such a vow, and if we were to replace him, we would need to know that vow remains intact. Zaluka looks a bit shook. She said, I'd do anything to get Emil back.
Daniel will look at Zaluka and say, "Costs."
She kind of growls under her breath and says, I would need the time to think of your offer. Perhaps I could be given the same time that the Walking Dead has been given your lordship. And Strahd says, of course. What is one more night down in the dank dark for one as brave as he? Do you have any questions for me? For I have much to attend to, and our meal is at its end.
Daniel, vouching or backing up Zaluka one more time will be like, after dinner, can we go see Emil so she can look on her husband?
Rod says, this could be an excellent test of your prowess. I grant no safe passage, but if you feel that you could find your way there, I would not stop you.
Daniel will nod.
If I cannot trust you to wander the halls of my home, how could I trust you with a burden as great as breaking this curse? All right, looks like he's getting ready to get up. Unless you have any last questions.
When he walks by Anna, she would say, Strahd, I have a private matter to discuss with you.
Of course. Why don't you come with me? We can discuss it, and then I will return you safe and sound to your ally.
Of course.
All right. He pulls your chair out, extends a hand in a gentlemanly way for you to take.
He acquiesces.
Okay. It's worth noting that Valenta does not have a hint of jealousy. Instead, she has this look on her face like, this should be pretty good. Like she is in on something that Anna is definitely not in on.
I'm shocked.
Esther looks jealous, though. I'm sorry, not Esther. Escher. Escher looks jealous, though, as they walk out. All right. And as Anna and Strahd leave on their own, the rest of you are kind of left in the dining hall with these NPCs, and Cyrus comes in to clear the plates and offers to refill coffee and tea. What do you guys want to have any reactions with these NPCs?
As Cyrus walks by Tiernan, Tiernan will sort of get his attention and say, "We I don't know if you heard, but we were at the Abbey.
Who were you at the Abbey? Did you see the horrors behind those walls?
We met some of the other Bellevues while we were there, actually.
Oh. They still live then?
We saw 3. So there's at least 3 remaining.
Are they well?
2 of them were. The third had...
Does Cloven still play his music?
That's true. I guess we do know of 4. We didn't see Cloven, but we heard him. And it was masterful.
He always had the gift. Each member of the Bellevue clan was a craftsman of no small merit. It is in our bloodline to be exceptional at something. This, of course, spurned the jealousy of others. It is no wonder that we had to look within the family to preserve the gift.
He'll gesture at the remains of the food on the table, and he says, "Well, you are certainly a master of your craft."
Appreciated. I'll extend some breakfast up for you in the morning.
And he continues collecting the plates and such.
Shane goes up to Roderick. Red Wolf, a moment of your time.
He smiles and says, Red Wolf, of course. All right. He asks Lily, and he stands.
You seemed rather calm when...
and he kind of motions to Strahd's empty chair
when he mentioned his proposal about new leadership amongst the wolves. Would you truly be so willing to step down?
I do not lead the wolves.
It was the destiny of another man who died.
I wonder then, what is your destiny?
What is a dead man's destiny? Quite the question. In death, I see. Once I was blind. There is no true path to victory here. Be it preordained, destiny, fate, none of it matters. In the end, there are powers at work here, masters, that are just a little too big.
You know, a ant is nothing against God, I can't believe I'm referencing a movie like this that Sheen clearly hasn't seen. But a grasshopper. But you get enough of them together. Man, well, things might be different.
This isn't a grasshopper, masters. Perhaps he kind of motions to Strahd there is a grasshopper. But the true threat, true evil, how much more than that?
I don't believe I understand.
Were you listening to the words he's told you? Or were you lost in the memories of pain that Rahadin, no doubt, spread before he left?
I am constantly in a world of pain.
Strahd spoke true. I know that now. He is a prisoner, as are we all. He is the warden, yes. But more so, he is the epicenter. And he makes a wry smile and he says, I used to think it was narcissism. But he truly is the center of this universe.
And you believe breaking this curse is the way to free the land, then?
I'm all out of options. I tried it my way. My allies and I. We almost had it. Almost. It wasn't enough. Now each of us serves in our own way.
By choice.
He looks at you with a sad smile and he says, some, yes. Others. He looks over at Lily, who continues to just stare ahead like a catatonic patient. Others. Not so much.
I would very much like to talk to you again at some point.
And he'll just kind of put out his hand.
Sure, he'll shake your hand. Is a crushing grip similar to Zaluka.
Yeah. Shane will attempt to not wince.
Thank you.
And Roderick moves up, puts a hand on the back of Lily's chair, but not on her, and he says, Lily, you can leave. And emotionlessly, she stands, her food uneaten, tucks in her chair, and leaves.
As she gets up, Darius is gonna look at her. Lily, was it? Tell your funny man the next time I see him, he has a receipt coming.
She just stares at you. Says nothing. And leaves.
Did Ching get any sort of vibe off Roderick, like a victim of circumstance vibe, or like a purely
You
chaotic
can
evil
give me
monster?
you can give me an insight check if you want. You're unsure. You think maybe if he had the chance, if he had the opportunity, he would burn Strahd's whole enterprise to the ground still.
Good to know.
All right, and with that, we'll end the session. Oof. Okay. Quick announcements. I guess we played some Vampire last night. It was very fun. If you're interested in how that game works and what it's about, the VODs are on the YouTubes. We're gonna be playing Pirates next weekend. If you're tired of Helldivers 2, why don't you come play some Pirates with us? That's my pitch. That's all I got. It's really fun, and we're trying to play as much as we can next weekend because you get double everything. It's double everything weekend, so it should be really fun. And I've started prepping my Stolen Fates game. It's a game I'm going to be running on Mondays after both Outlaws games end, which, yes, is like 25 weeks from now. But, I'm a slow reader, so just do my best. Trying to read these books. I don't have any other announcements. Does anybody have any announcements before we adjourn? No?
Not really.
Okay. Well, then I hope everyone has a safe, healthy, happy week, et cetera, and we will continue this next time.
Thanks for having.
Thank you.
Thanks everyone for tuning in. Catch you next time.